my, I can't really, I gotta be honest, this isn't really gonna be a review of Mulholland Drive. It kind of is. David Lynch's Mulholland Drive. I wanted to watch it to learn from one of the best, learn from one of the greats. And I should have known watching it that I'd have more questions than answers. But this is a special kind of level of bewilderment that I'm in. So, you know, before I watch YouTube videos like, oh, Mulholland Drive explained, I feel like it's not supposed to be explained. And literally, it went off 5 minutes ago, so I got all these thoughts in my head. One thing I know that David Lynch uses this thing called dream logic, which is the movie plays out with the logic you would have in a dream, pretty self-explanatory, which I think was, in this movie, demonstrated to a very accurate degree. So, but I just have so many questions, okay, why did they want, I'm gonna have to rewatch the beginning because I'm trying to figure out who they wanted, what girl they wanted to be instead of the other girl. For the guy who was doing the movie, they wanted to, with Adam, the director, they wanted a different girl. Who was that they wanted a different girl? Why did they want a different girl? Why her? What was the blue box? That's a question that may never be answered. Why, ever since we went into the box, that everything was just unraveled? How much of that was real? How much of that was hypothetical? It made me think of The Green Knight with Dev Patel, where the Green Knight basically shows him, listen, if you were to go back and be king and I don't kill you, which you should see The Green Knight if you want to, if it's your kind of thing. But, oh, spoilers for The Green Knight, I apologize. I should have mentioned that. But what happens is he tells him and shows him everything that will happen if he goes living, and then he decides if he wants to or not. And that's kind of what I felt like this was oh, when you get all your dreams in Hollywood, this is where they get you. And it ended with her, spoilers for Mulholland Drive, killing herself. Obviously I've got questions about that creepy, dirty-faced demon creature thing. It seems like ever since the box, I can't figure it out, because the woman, Rita, when they went back to her house to get the key to open the box, Betty disappeared, and then it was her left alone, and then she opens the box, and then a red-headed lady comes in, and then everything after that was just, I want to say everything after that I appreciated, because it was just these little blurbs of information, but I found it to be the most interesting part of the movie. I'm sure a lot of people did. Like I said, I haven't seen any reviews or explanations for this movie, but from that point on, everything was like a dream. But I was interested. It wasn't passive. It wasn't like I didn't care. I didn't understand why it was happening, but I definitely wasn't mad at it. Yeah, there's a lot that I didn't understand until certain scenes, the love scene with Naomi and I don't know the other actress, Betty and Rita. It was that made sense why she was keeping her around the whole time when she should have, called an ambulance. I think it's one of those movies where it's you're not supposed to know, even if you watch a YouTube video explaining, oh, the blue key meant this and the box symbolized that. I feel like it maybe means nothing. Unless I'm just grossly misunderstanding, but I think that it means nothing. Because the way I felt when I was watching the scene after we had entered the blue box, everything felt like it didn't matter, but in an exquisite kind of way. Now, I might have just been lost, which I was, but maybe like Pulp Fiction, when you open the chest and you see the gold light and you don't know what it is and you never know what it is, maybe the point is we're not supposed to know. Or maybe we're just supposed to think about it until maybe we come up with our own conclusions. But I'll have to watch it again, and it's something I would watch again. Also, the cowboy was super interesting. That his character, I've never seen acting like that. And then the Hispanic hotel owner was his acting was maybe some of the best in the movie. Obviously Naomi did great. Like I said, this isn't a traditional review. This is just my thoughts straight off watching it. Would I recommend it? Yeah, but it's not for everybody. But I would recommend it to certain people. I mean, if you're a David Lynch fan and you haven't seen this one, duh, obviously see it. But yeah, this is me. Like, I'm just trying to watch all of his movies right now because I feel like David Lynch is a treasure. I do love the guy. Like, I would get coffee and cigarettes with him. But if he was here right now and I had to ask him one question, I would say, honestly, I would want to know about the creepy lady. The creepy, black-skinned, dark, homeless, probably not homeless lady. Because I feel like that would reveal a lot. Also, why they wanted that specific actress. I don't know, I have a lot of questions. And then obviously the box, you know, it'd be between those three, honestly. I don't know which, but yeah, it's a freaking amazing movie in its way, for sure. And I feel happy that I've watched it, because this is going to be one of those experiences where it's like, oh, I wish I could watch it for the first time again. This is definitely going to go down for me as one of those. So, yeah. Let me know what you thought of Mulholland Drive. Like I said, this isn't a traditional review. I just wanted to get some of my thoughts out. Yeah, and also I will say this. I grew up watching Peter Jackson's King Kong movie. And, you know, Naomi Watts was like the starry-eyed, aspiring actress in that. Which is funny because that took place like 4 years after they filmed this, roughly, or 5. So it's interesting that like several directors saw her as like that role, but like she was also that in this kind of. I don't know. If I had to rate it, I feel like rating movies is so subjective. I mean, if you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. There was a lot of scenes I liked more than others, and still so many questions I have, like that diner. What's up with the diner? What's up with the alleyway? Really, what's up with the box? As soon as they took that box out and opened it, I'm like, either there's gonna be a finger in there or we're gonna zoom into the box and be zoomed into the box. And ever since we zoomed into the box, maybe I'm trying to figure out, like, after we zoomed into the box, Betty was now named Diane. So that makes me think like the whole thing was a fantasy, but then all the characters were rearranged. So I'm like, maybe it's just in her head, maybe she's coping, maybe that's obvious, but it wasn't to me for some reason. And then she was living in another place, so maybe she never moved into that place. I don't know, more questions than answers at this point, but I like that. I'm not mad at that. I like kind of the delights of uncertainty, as they say in Watchmen. It's a good movie too. But yeah, that's all for me. If you've got any thoughts or suggestions or things that I missed, please let me know. I'd love to know. And always, if you want some more talk about movies, that's what I'm here for. So I actually have some more to say about the movie. It's rattling around in there. So the old man and woman that picked up Betty from the airport, they crawled out of the box or by the box, and then they crawled into her apartment, grew full size, and like chased her like some zombies until she freaked out and then killed herself. Which, like, where'd you get a gun? Also, it's early in the morning, so if I look tired, it's because of it. So the way I interpreted that was, if the scene where she gets out of the airport and comes to Los Angeles is real, and she talks to that couple on the plane, maybe she's blaming they're rooting for her because they had said at one point, wishing you all the success in the world. Maybe she had put this expectation on herself of like, okay, I have to do it for them, I have to be great for them, and they're rooting for me. And maybe that was like her last line of like, I don't know, positivity, or like because they were rooting for her, she holds them to blame for everything that went wrong in her life. And then that was like a moment of them haunting her until she's like, well, you know, if they've turned on me, you know, I don't know. Definitely rest in peace, David Lynch, near the dawn, for real. And yeah, if you guys got recommendations like this movie, I'd be open to them. That's all for now. Peace.